Our Game Week 19 Premier League predictions. Dad, I love this part of the year. It's football crazy. And that is why I've got a very special guest on. I've met him in person. I've been playing football with him in Qatar. We have the Man City man, Kyle Walker.
Hey, Kyle Walker, the defender. Love him.
No more time to waste, because right now in the Christmas period, neither does the Premier League. Brentford versus Liverpool.
I know what you're trying to do, Theo. Last week you got 3 points.
No.
Zach got 6 points.
Josh,
Dad got
cut
8.
it out. Josh, cut this out. If we get 15,000 likes, the TDL, the Thogden Army, are going to make a comeback on predictions. We're going to get further away from Thogdad and the guests, and we're now going to start with Brentford versus Liverpool.
That is my bit, and I think you'll find the TDL is the Thogdad Defence League, but Brentford against Liverpool. Now, what about Ivan Toney? 12 goals already. Brentford haven't lost in 5.
Yeah.
They can win this, can't they?
They've now set a new club record of 5 consecutive Premier League games unbeaten. It's mad that Brentford haven't done that before, but I guess they're new to the Premier League, and what a time to do it. But unfortunately, as you mentioned, Ivan Toney is missing. Due to that, I don't see them continuing that record of 2 goals per game for a 5th time in a row.
Now, Liverpool have won 4 in a row, haven't they, Theo?
Yeah,
against
they have.
Leicester, it was all about Mr. Farce, wasn't it, Theo?
All the form teams here, everyone's winning.
I know they are, but I get a feeling that Brentford could surprise Liverpool.
Seriously?
Here. Liverpool are not travelling very well this season. Do you know what? I'm going to go straight to my scoreline, Theo. And I'm going to say now, I think I'm going to be wrong. I'm going to go Brentford 1, Liverpool 2.
So you're going to say, out of those 2 goals, Darwin Núñez is averaging a league high 5.99 shots per 90. No player in the Premier League gets more shots per game. How many goals will the Uruguayan grab?
I think he won't score in this game,
What?
but I think at some point he will start scoring.
I back Liverpool to go big. A 3-1 win. I predicted it against Villa.
Wow.
And I'll say the same again here.
Liverpool, they're going to go out strong favourites for me. I'm going to say 3-1 winners in that game.
Leicester City against Fulham. It's 13th against 7th. Now, Leicester City were making a recovery, weren't they, Theo? But recently, 2 consecutive defeats. What's going wrong? 2 own goals in 7 minutes.
Yeah, he'll be reminding himself of the old quote, new year, new me coming into this game. Leicester need 3 points.
Yes, they do. It's all gone a little wrong recently. But, Theo, what about Fulham? You were there, weren't you, the other day?
It's been successive home defeats to 0 though, so will it change around against Fulham? To see them get that win against Southampton off the back of a Palace away win, Marco Silva is making his magic happen. Willian, I know people laughed at him after he finished his time at Chelsea and Arsenal, but him at Fulham, he's a different breed.
Now, Leicester City's problem, Theo, this season has been defensive. I think it's the 4th worst defence in the division.
Coming into this, I back Fulham more than Leicester, and I'd never usually say that. I think it's going to go down to a 1-1 draw. Maybe a return for James Maddison. Harvey Barnes, this is the sort of match in previous head-to-heads where I think he'd like to score in.
They're on the home turf. I think they're going to find it here.
But do you know what? Fulham have a weird statistic in January. Going away, they've only won once in 23 games in this month.
I'm going to go Leicester City 2, Fulham 1.
Now, funnily enough, Leicester to win.
Yes, Leicester to
That's
win.
mad.
And it makes no sense based upon form.
This is Darren Bond's first Premier League game of the season, and he's shown an average of 4.28 yellow cards per game. Now that is more than any of the average referees. So expect this to be fiery and maybe even a red card.
Brendan Rodgers, great manager, got great players as well. We didn't see James Maddison at the World Cup, but he has saved them plenty of times this season, and I think he'll be wanting to find that form once again, get back into the stride of things, and hopefully they'll be able to get a win. I'm going to say Leicester win this one 2-0.
Arsenal versus Newcastle United. This is 1st against 3rd. It's the 2 form teams. In fact, we've got to say, this is the game of the week, isn't it,
It's
Theo?
amazing. First against that. This is basically the battle of the best clubs in the Premier League. And I didn't think I'd say that at the start of the season. I don't want to look back at my Premier League predictions.
Arsenal have won the last 5 games. They look superb. In fact, that game away at Brighton and Hove Albion, superb. What entertainment was that?
Seriously, I thought they were going to bottle it at the end though.
I know.
I can't say anything. I expected that game to be a draw, and it wasn't anything near that. Arsenal score another high amount of goals. Their XG against Brighton was 3.37.
Martin Ødegaard, and he is a superb footballer. This season, he's been one of the best in the division. His short passing, his long passing, his creativity, second to none. And all the main guys scored, didn't they, Theo?
Now, no team in the Premier League history has picked up 43 points in 16 games and bottled it from here on in.
You could look at the next 6 games and they are very tough. But I don't think Arsenal are thinking of it in that way. All along I've been saying Man City will catch them, but they keep bottling. As each week goes by, I start to believe that Arsenal can do this.
Now, Chris Wood, everyone's talking about him after that 0-0 against Leeds. He was linked with Leeds, and I don't think his audition went too well. Newcastle had an XG of 2.85, but struggled to score. Is that that worrying coming into this match?
Yeah, that is a poor result. Newcastle would expect to beat Leeds very comfortably. But, Theo, 13 points in the last 5 games.
Yeah, that's great.
They've got the best defence in the league. They're third in the division. This could be really close and probably low scoring. You know what? It's going to be a tense game, low scoring. Yeah. Arsenal 1, Newcastle 0.
Saliba's going to score a winner. 2-1 to Arsenal.
Saliba?
Yep.
You mug.
Will it be Champions League? No, I don't think so. But they're progressing and they're doing things the right way when it comes to football, it seems. I think it'll be 2-2. I think Newcastle, they will take points off Arsenal. You heard it here first.
Everton in 16th against Brighton and Hove Albion in 9th, Theo. And Everton, all I can say is Damari Gray. Tell me about that goal.
That goal was insane. But I don't understand why the City defenders weren't going near him. He had time to stop the ball, cut it around, and still have a free shot. I mean, great. I'm not taking anything away from that goal. More importantly, Frank Lampard's job is saved. Do you think he'll be there at the end of the season?
Yes, I do, Theo, and I
Really?
hope he is. You know my view on managers. They get sacked too often, don't they? Brighton at the moment look much better than Everton. Now, I know they lost to Arsenal, but my goodness, that was exciting towards the end. Mitoma, Theo, Mitoma.
So unlucky.
We read each other's minds. How good was he in Doha? How good was he this weekend?
When I watched him for Japan, I knew he'd shine for Brighton.
Yeah.
And it's partly because of injuries and players missing that he's been given this 90-minute regular opportunity. But he's ready for the Premier League, and I think he's going to score in this match.
Big shout out to Evan Ferguson, the young lad who scored for Brighton. I think it's his first goal in the Premier League.
That's amazing, that.
It's incredible, isn't it, at that age?
What a story.
I'm going to go here. Everton 0, Brighton 1. I just think Brighton, better organised, better personnel at the moment.
Good prediction, but weirdly the Toffees curiously have a great record in evening matches in the last 4. But I'm not going to listen to that statistic. I'm still going to back Brighton to win by 1 goal, but 2-1.
I'm going to say Everton will get more points, but I am going to say it's going to be a 0-0 draw, okay?
Manchester United in 4th against Bournemouth in 15th. All I can say, Theo, Marcus Rashford, set your alarm clock, pal, eh?
He's been so good though.
I
and
know.
He won them the game against Wolves. So
did.
maybe it was a tactic all along to come off the bench and change the game.
What do you think about Man United? They're in a Champions League place. Are they a good team this season?
I see this as the beginning of a legacy from Ten Hag for Manchester United. The way he's moved Luke Shaw to centre-back, brought back Wan-Bissaka and Malaysia on the other side, smashing it. Every player wants to play for Manchester United, and it comes to deep down getting rid of Ronaldo. That's the real reason everybody's there, enjoying it again. And I'm so happy to see Marcus Rashford become the king of Manchester. This is what football needed. He's finally showing us his true class. And I genuinely believe he can carry England to a Euros in 18 months.
But let's talk about Bournemouth. They've lost 4 of the last 5, Theo.
Yeah.
3 points off the relegation zone. Do they have any chance in this game?
Well, it's wasted opportunities from Solanke as they didn't score early on against Palace and they slowly threw that match away. And actually, they're slowly falling down the Premier League table into what could be a relegation fight in a few weeks. I'm going 2-0.
And I tell you what, Theo, that Palace game that you mentioned was the old 6-pointer. If Bournemouth had won that, they're level with Palace. They lose that, they're never going to catch up to Palace now. And I'm going to just say ditto, Theo. It's going to be Man United to win 2-0.
Man United looking good. Let's be honest. Everyone thought, they're going to lose Cristiano Ronaldo. It won't be a huge loss to them, but it's Cristiano Ronaldo. They've looked great. Beaten Wolves, managed to do it. It's going to be easy for Manchester United. 3-0, that is what I'm going for.
Southampton against Nottingham Forest. This is bottom of the table against 18th. Now, Southampton have lost the last 5 games, but I want to mention James Ward-Prowse, Theo, because he is 1 direct free kick away from equaling Beckham's record. Nottingham Forest, Theo, they've got 8 points from the last 6 games. We've just seen them, and I tell you what, they were pretty good against Chelsea.
Forest away record does not lie. Saints 2, Forest 1, Che Adams to score.
Do you know what, Theo? I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to say Southampton to win 1-0, and that is because of Forest's away record.
If we can get a draw, if we can get points on the board, next game, build that momentum, build it. That is what these teams will need to be doing. If Southampton want to avoid relegation, which they obviously do, they'll be needing to pick up points. And I actually think they'll be able to do that in this game. I'm going to say Southampton 1-0, James Ward-Prowse, free kick. That is what I'm going with.
Leeds United against West Ham United, 14th against 17th. And we've got to call this a relegation battle, haven't we, Theo?
Last straw for David Moyes is what I call it. Brentford, that was 1 step too far, Dad.
They
Terrible.
were unlucky, though, weren't they? 20 shots in that game.
All I can remember is being booed at first half as they walked off, booed at full time, and there's a reason for that. The fans have had enough. And when they came into Olympic Park, they've had some incredible memories, like Sevilla in a European knockout stage. You remember how alive that ground felt when they made it to the quarters through that game?
Now, they've lost the last 5 games, and I've looked at their away record, Theo. 1-1, drawn 1, lost 6. So the last team you want to face is Leeds United at Ellen Road, eh?
But I'm going to sit on the fence and go for a 1-1. I'm being boring.
Do you know what? That is a very sensible prediction. I'm actually going to go with the 12th man, the Leeds crowd, Theo. Leeds are going to win 2-1.
Leeds are going to blow the ball into the net. The fans are something else.
West Ham, they'll score. I think that's inevitable against this Leeds side, but Leeds will also score because West Ham, they've not looked defensively solid this season, conceding plenty of goals, as I'm saying. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that one.
Aston Villa in 12th against Wolverhampton Wanderers in 19th. This is a Midlands derby, isn't it, Theo?
Yeah. We're talking about a derby, but we're also talking about 2 new managers.
Yep.
Both of them are Spanish. Both of them have got off to pretty decent starts. I know Wolves lost last week, but they're definitely showing improvements. This is a massive game of football.
It is, Theo, and Aston Villa today were a different team, you know. They've won 4 of the last 6. They were so good today. Against Tottenham Hotspur, they won 2-0 at White
It's the
Hart
best
Lane.
time of the year. You turn on the telly and there's football non-stop. How are we sitting down after watching the team play today and we're sitting down again talking about their next match?
Lopetegui's doing a good job there, Theo, but in this derby game, I think it'll go down to a single goal. I'm going to go straight to it. 1-0 to Villa.
Honestly, before watching Villa today, I had a draw written all over this game, and I know it's going to be a draw and I'm going to lose potential points. I would have said 1-1, but do you know what I did? I changed it last minute. Aston Villa to win 2-1 to keep up their form. And Ollie Watkins is going to score. I've already seen it happen.
Douglas Luiz, I mean, him managing to do that and managing to perform the way he did against Tottenham, I genuinely believe that he's going to have a great second half of the season, and I think that they'll run out winners. I think that they're going to score plenty in this one. I'm going to say 3-0 Aston Villa, come out on top against Wolves.
Crystal Palace against Tottenham Hotspur, 11th against 5th. It is South London against North London. Now, Crystal Palace won away, didn't they, last week? They've won 3 of the last 5. They're looking good.
Yeah,
they can win this, can't they?
Vieira adopted quickly from his mistakes, and with 2 players suspended, it didn't seem to be a problem at Bournemouth away. They now need to change around their home form at Selhurst Park, and it's going to be done against Tottenham, who are more than hungry than ever to get 3 points, or top 4's thrown away.
But I tell you what, Theo, I watched Spurs today. I thought they were terrible. I can't remember a time when Spurs were worse than today. Palace can easily win this. This could easily be a draw.
I'll be honest, if Tottenham drop any more points, top 4 is out the picture. It seems a stronghold with United, Newcastle, City and Arsenal. They can't do it anymore. They've also got a game in hand on them. They need to get 3 points, or Antonio Conte's Champions League dreams are out the window.
I think the bounce back has got to start here. Tottenham to win 1-0.
Really? I'm going 1-1. It's happening.
Yes.
But it's going to be a fiery encounter.
For Tottenham fans, they'll be coming into this game thinking, oh God, we've just been beaten. What team's going to turn up today? I think that it'll be the one that makes them very, very happy, and they'll come out and Harry Kane will score goals in this match, okay? I'm going to say Tottenham, they will beat Crystal Palace, and I'm saying 2-0 in that game.
Chelsea in 8th against Manchester City in 2nd. Both teams drew last week. Some people say this is the game of the weekend. I kind of disagree. I was talking to a Chelsea fan called Brian, and he said to me, Theo, we've scored 20 goals this season. Erling Haaland has scored 21. Isn't that the problem? Chelsea can't score goals.
Graham Potter having a tough time.
Havertz, he's not a bad player, but he's not a centre forward. Chelsea need to invest in personnel, particularly a centre forward.
That's where I start to look back on the man that they've already bid for. It's not been confirmed whether he's going to go or not. Enzo Fernandez.
Yes.
How did he change that Argentina team, and what would he bring to the blue side of London?
I don't know is the answer to that, Theo. Now, I know...
You only watched every Argentina game in the World Cup.
And I'll tell you what, because it's the World Cup, and the World Cup is not the Premier League. The Premier League is different. Okay. It's a different pace, it's much faster, and most of the time it's much higher standard, to be brutally honest.
And that is why a lot of Chelsea fans are reminiscent as to how Tuchel would have done in the last 6 games. He probably would have won more than just 1 game, which is what Potter's done. A Kevin De Bruyne masterclass at Stamford Bridge. City to win. Will Haaland score 2?
I think Haaland will score. I think he'll score 1. I think there'll be 1 goal in this game. It will go to Man City. It will be scored by Erling Haaland.
So a 4-goal thriller. But Dad, it's a 7-point gap now at the top of the table between Manchester City and Arsenal. Here's my question to you. Who wins the Premier League? And be honest, will City make a comeback?
Manchester City. There's a long way to go. I think they'll claw it back. And Arsenal have got 6 quite difficult games over the next 6 game weeks.
So close in my head. I can't call it.
I think that Chelsea, of course, they're very strong. ninth in the league, so they've not looked their best, let's be completely honest. But I'm going to say this will be a great game, and I'm going to say Manchester City will come out on top. Of course I'm going to say that, and I'm going to go 3-2 Manchester City. Erling Haaland will continue his scoring.
Some lovely predictions, but it doesn't stop there. It's our first double game week. Lump on Fulham Chelsea players on FPL.
I'm going to say Fulham 1, Chelsea 1.
Fulham 2, Chelsea 2.
Wow.
2 draws.
So we kind of agree,
We
don't
do.
we?
Do you know what? It's so good. We should be there, shouldn't we?
Yes, we should.
Should we get down the cottage?
I think that Chelsea, they will be struggling if they don't pick up points and they don't start now. Busy January for them, so yeah, I'm going to say they bounce back, they come out winners.
Kyle Walker, you have ball knowledge, son. Good luck to City, and thank you for watching. Premier League Predictions is back. Up the TDL. See you in a bit. Bye-bye.